You guys hear that? This sort of like a harp, the beautiful harp. That upright piano. They really got that 80s sound to it. So you can do some crazy 80s style stuff. I'm just gonna go right ahead and just say this, let the cat out the bag. As a musician, as a synthesizer enthusiast, piano enthusiast, electric piano, vintage just gear, I'm just a vintage synthesizer head. This is definitely, without a doubt, one of the best VST collections on the market to date. It's so good. I was instantly able, right after opening up the VSTs, apply it and use these sounds for the films that I'm currently scoring right now. What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to my channel and welcome back to my home studio. I am Archie Beats and I am here to help. Today, we are reviewing and doing a walkthrough of Arturia's V Collection 8. Let's go. So when it comes to finding the perfect sound, that's probably the most time-consuming hunt that any musician, that any producer, singer-songwriter is going to go on. You're gonna always need different sounds. You're gonna always look for that perfect sound to where you don't need to go on the hunt as often. And the V Collection is one of those. And you get tons of sound, Rhodes, all types of synthesizers, synth modules, like it's crazy. I'm not gonna talk your ear off, and we're gonna walk through some of these VST instruments. Let's go. Let's have a look at this screen. Let's turn the plugins off so you guys see how beautiful they are. So what is the V Collection? The Arturia V Collection 8 software is basically a bundle of many instruments. And the bundle features are you have more than 8,000 sounds and 28 essential classic software keyboards. And today's video is sponsored by Sweetwater Sound. For those of you who don't know, Sweetwater Sound is the largest music retailer in the United States with over 40,000 pieces of gear for you to choose from. Whether you're a producer, singer, songwriter, film composer, audio engineer, they have something for you on there. And when you purchase anything from Sweetwater Sound, you are assigned a sales engineer that help you all the way from point A, buying the product, point B, getting the product shipped out to you, and they also send you getting started information and they check on you from time to time. Salesperson plus audio engineer equals sales engineer. And if you guys are interested in anything that you've seen in my home studio, be sure to check the description below. I have everything listed down there. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you won't miss another video. Thank you. And the V Collection also has 4 new instruments such as the June 6 V, the Emulator 2 V, the Vocoder V, and the OBXA V. Some of my favorite vintage synthesizers have been added to this. Arturia's take. So some of my favorite synthesizers of all time have been added to this. So let's talk about Analog Lab, which is just a slew of instruments. And as you guys can see already with this interface, it's kind of easy to navigate through it. And I'm going to tell you guys now, as a person, like I said, that owns majority of every VST, instrument VST out there, because I have to use it for my film composing and, just making music, period. And I have, hardware stuff around my studio as well. This is definitely the best budget VST collection that you are going to find because it's only $5.99 to be honest. So as you guys can see here, you can easily navigate through it. These are the types of instrument, bass, key leads, for example, the pianos. We go to the pianos, and I like the German piano. It's really warm. And you can open the piano and you can pretty much just go to town. So you can see as you play, and you can navigate through the instruments. Pop grand here. The instrument changes as you move through and navigate. Even that upright piano. Sounds so good, right? So as you guys can see with the action section here, you have velocity curve here. You can change up the velocity. Hear that? We want to keep it in a nice place though. You have mic set up right here, and you can change the way the mic is set up, which is cool. I want you guys to see that up here. You're gonna need to see the keys, and you guys see you can change the position of the mic and where the mic is located, which is really cool. One of the things I wish it could do is kind of move the microphones around, but this is definitely good enough. This is fantastic actually that you have the option to do that. The next thing is the room and mix. As you guys can see, this is a home studio. You got a nice SSL, looks like a 4000G with NS10s right there. But you know, you can go jazz room, the reverb setup. Ooh, we got some hit vibes to that. Modern hardware. Piano concert hall. Ooh, this sounds great. I love that hall right there. Resonant recital, and then you have your mastering EQ right here. You guys see it took away everything there. We roll that filter there. You get the highs up there, and it also works. Seems like I'm hearing some compression there as well. I'm not quite sure, but it's a very, very, very easy UI and user interface. So let's go back out of here and let's go to home. You guys can see right here, you can either click the instrument as well, and you can like slow build, synthesizer, sync, visionary, see the Birch ESA. We're going to go through individual and show you guys that you can also get to it via your channel strip in whatever DAW you're using. So if you go down here as well, you see the designer, so you can pick the instrument by the designers, the beautiful heart, Victor Morelli. Oh my God, that sounds so good. That's a great sounding harp right there. And it's a plug harp. Then you have your Arpeggio. You can play with the Arpeggio, and you can also open it up through the Jupiter 8. The Volts assignment, and you guys see these are the vintage Jupiter, like from Roland. You see that the LFOs, the VC modulator, like these were the boards I started on at first. I was a little baby and I saw the heavy like hitting musicians have these, the Jupiter, the Juno, and I'm like, man, I want to play those things. Like, and what do you know? They've created software for it so you don't have to, you know, stack your studio up with all these vintage synthesizers. So let's get out of here and let's go to some more of how you can navigate through this V collection. Like it's 8,000 sounds, guys. And this is the Birchler ESO, and really vintage stuff. So if you want to make that, if you're working on a movie or something, or if you're working on a vintage like track or something, and it's literally the emulated software emulation of these instruments. For example, you see you have your sequence voltage right there, source with your keyboard pulsar, your clock, your trigger section, the envelope generator, pulsar, modulation, and it just goes on. And it has the feel, the color. I don't know about you guys, but I like to see the instruments that I'm actually using, and they did a fantastic job. And you guys know I have like my grandmother semi-modular synthesizer, analog synthesizer. The Birchler ESO 5 actually reminds me of it, because, you know, even where the reverb section is, you can crank up, so like the reverb is on. But you can also turn it off at any given time by clicking that. You can do your master volume over here. You can crank it all the way up. It even has like a preamp on it you can activate noise. This is an amazing synthesizer as well. So let's keep it moving, y'all. And then down here, we have the OB, the OBX. You guys hear that? This sort of like a harp, the beautiful harp. I didn't do that on purpose. Like the creator of that sound, I actually had this pulled up for you guys already so we can work through it. But this, back in the days, y'all, when they were creating synthesizers, and, you know, not everybody could afford a super huge orchestra. So, you know, one session, one session musician. To be honest, when we go to LA and we're scoring film and we're bringing in real session musicians, each musician costs about $1,000 to $2,000 a day, depending on what the situation is. And imagine having 70 people and you got one day to do this. So back in the day, they created these synthesizers to the best they could, y'all, and it turned out to be something really funky and awesome because it don't necessarily sound like the instrument, but it's a great rendition. It gives a new edge, a new type sound and version of that instrument. And of course, we fell in love with it, and they started scoring it in film, electronic scoring. So that was just a quick little history lesson, but these instruments here are, like I said, I like the way they look. They inspire me to just play and to just be lost in a VST. And like, guys, like I said, it's literally 8,000 sounds. And another thing about synthesizers that are also great, you don't have to necessarily stick to the presets. You can change it up. You have like the control over the envelope, filters, oscillators, modulators, voices. You can add whatever you want to just create new sounds. And that's the great thing about a synthesizer as well. A violin can sound like a violin with a session musician, but it's only so much they can do with applying pressure to the strings and the bow that can actually make it sound unique and different. It's only so much you can do. And you know what? I know some amazing violinists, some amazing pianists, and they are, they're awesome. But, even sometimes they like to run their stuff through synthesizers and oscillators and filters and envelopes. So, it's fun to work with this stuff. You can also change up the waves and triggers and all of that. Arpeggiators. You can change up the rate. You heard that? Slow that down. So you can just, you can go through this thing and just really have some fun with it. And the last is the June 6. I loved working with these when I first started out. Like I said, they really got that 80s sound to it. So you can do some crazy 80s style stuff. And the Junos are actually really simple synthesizers. That's when they started really dialing back on the confusion with how modulators and semi-module synthesizers work. You guys see, you just have like hold, chord, arpeggiator, LFO, DSCO, HPF, VCF, like VCF. It's just a very simple synthesizer right there. And the sounds in here are, and I'm telling you guys, like a guy that's been using these things for 15 years, like we were in college in the early 2000s, like all of my musician friends, they would have a Juno. I didn't have nothing because I was just trying to play my drums and a piano and I was really just into the acoustic stuff. And a lot of my friends, shout out to Virgil and Jonathan Davenport for introducing me to synthesizers and that synthesized sound. I learned a lot, man. So as you guys can see, and also don't forget, you could click this and go through each section as well. The piano. So if you just into like 80 sound, 90 sounds, it's all here. And even modern sounds, as you guys can see, if we go back up here to, and let's dive a little back, go back to the analog library. So if you guys just take a look at this, let's get out of here. Let's go backwards. Let's go home. As you guys can see, we can go home here. And you can choose B3 organs. And as you guys can see right here, you can choose like jazz organs. Just hit that real quick. Let's open the organ up. I always like to look at them. You can change it. I like it. You hear that? This is it. This is the real deal. And shout out to Arturia for creating such great sounds and such great controllers and synthesizers. They have really contributed to the space in a way that, you know, they create a bunch of innovative musicians and a tribute to innovative musicians. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Remember, there are plenty modern sounds, plenty of vintage sounds. I just wanted to show you guys how I use them and what I would use the sounds for. So don't forget to give me a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel, hit that notification bell, and check the Arturia V Collection out on sweetwater.com. Hey, it's $5.99. You guys want to jump on that ASAP. And I really do hope that you guys have a wonderful day. Don't forget to be great and create. This is your boy Archie Beats, and I am signing off.
Archie Beat on the beat. Yeah.